Evening. For almost 25 years, CBS broadcast a show live every Sunday night that showcased the greatest talents in television history. It was the one, the only, Ed Sullivan Show.
And now, live from New York, 3, 2, 1. Now we got a real big show. Here's an amazing act. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's a tremendous act.
I could have danced all night.
He's a funny man.
And look, people say he never laughs. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to.
Oh, beautiful for smoggy skies, insecticided grain.
And now here is Elvis Presley, the Beatles, Judy Garland, Barbara Streisand, the Muppets, the Rolling Stones, Carol Burnett, Louis Satchmo Armstrong, the Beach Boys, Sammy Davis Jr., Ella Fitzgerald, Flip Wilson, Red Skelton, Pearl Davis, Will Jordan, the Jackson 5, Jackie Gleason, James Brown, Joan Rivers, Jackie Mason, Jimmy Durante, Janis Joplin, and Topo Gigio. Oh, come on, come on, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tonight we'll be hearing from our guest stars in Los Angeles and at the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York.
Well, I'd say he was one of the first shows that gave everybody a chance to be seen.
I think what was so wonderful about Ed is that everybody at home felt they could do it as well, if not better. You see, there was a charm in that.
When you were preparing and waiting those last 3 minutes before On the Air happened, it was the most exhilarating, exciting, nervous-making time.
To think that you're going to be on television with Ed Sullivan was comparable to a nightclub comedian in those days playing the epitome of a nightclub like the Copacabana.
The minute you got on the Sullivan Show, your sales just skyrocketed.
You would always see a rock and roll band, and the man was shrewd enough to put every week on his show a rock and roll band.
When I impersonated him, he was the first to admit that he didn't think he was a great MC. He said on that show, let me just introduce the acts and get off.
When Ed Sullivan put his arm around you and called you over and said, she's a really funny little lady, America said, she's a really funny little lady. I mean, everybody. Ed Sullivan was America's taste.
Opening on Broadway and doing the Ed Sullivan Show were the two scariest things in show business I have ever done. So I used to change 2 hours before the show because that would give me an extra 2 hours to drive myself absolutely crazy.
Hey, you! 2 minutes!
So from here, you could hear the music and the laughter coming from the stage. By this time, your knees were knocking in rhythm to the band. Your mouth was so dry, you could hardly speak.
Jerry John Carroll Burnett.
Came to New York from California to try my luck and audition for Broadway musicals. One thing that really fascinated me was the different types of singers that I would run into at the different auditions I went to, like this little girl.
That was wonderful! Wasn't he wonderful? I'll do it again!
Paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believe in me. Well, that was a
Today, we look back on the 1950s as a much simpler time. Issues seemed more clear-cut. The whole world was seen in black and white in more ways than one. One undisputed fact was that Ed Sullivan had the #1 show every Sunday night. At 8 o'clock in homes across America, families gathered in front of their television sets for an hour of all-star entertainment featuring the most popular hits of the day.
Got along without you before I met you, gonna get along without you now. I'm gonna find me somebody twice as cute, cause you didn't love me anyhow. You ran around with every girl in town, and you never cared if we got me down. Got along without you before I met you, gonna get along without you now. Boom, 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 I'm gonna get along without you now.
Johnny Ray's theatrics paved the way for rock and roll.
If I tell of my world, just how hard those little clouds to ride, that's how I know I'll always remember that little white cloud that sat right down and cried. The little white
cloud. In the mid-50s, rock and roll swept the country.
Oh, did I bought a baby diamond ring? If that diamond ring don't shine, oh, did I dig it to a private eye? If that private eye can't see, even not take the ring from me. Oh, did I bought a natty gold to make it pretty baby on Sunday go. Oh, did I bought a alley cat to make it pretty baby on Sunday hat.
Now, Oh Boy with Buddy Holly and his cricket.
Oh, my love, all of my kisses, you don't know what you've been of it to no boy. When you're with me, oh boy, I thought the world could see that the world is for me. All my life I've been waiting, and there'll be no hesitating, no boy. When you're with me, oh boy, I thought the world could see that the world is for me. Stars are pure and the shadows are falling. You can hear my heart calling. A little bit of loving makes everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All of my love, all of my kissing. You don't know just what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, I thought the world could see that the world is for me.
Elvis Presley's first appearance on Sullivan made television history.
This is probably the greatest honor that I've ever had in my life. There's not much I can say except it really makes you feel good. And we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. And now, don't be cruel. You know I can be found sitting home all alone. If you can't come around, at least please telephone. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Baby, if I made you mad for something I might have said, please don't forget the past. The future looks bright ahead. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, oh baby.
It's impossible to describe what performing live on The Sullivan Show was like. Your adrenaline, your nerves, your heart. It was like 1,000 fireworks exploding all at once. And the only safety net you had was the energy and goodwill of the audience. Together you could create magic. These wonderful performers wove that spell time and time again.
Don't you know that it's weight? Every treasure on earth to be young at heart. For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you'll derive just by being alive. Now here is the best part. You have a head start if you are amongst the very young at heart.
Let it rain and let it fall. It may not be long before there's a knocking at my door. Then you'll know the one I love walked in when the sun comes out and the rain stops beating on my window pane. If my heart holds out, let it rain, let it pour. It may not be long before there's a knocking at my door. Then you'll know the one I love walked in when the sun comes
Once you come home, Bill Bailey, once you come home, I'm feeling all alone now. I'll do the cooking, honey, and pay the rent. I know I've done you wrong. Now I remember last winter evening when your treader horses were on the ground with nothing but a fine-tooth comb. Now I know I'm to blame. Ain't that a shame? Bill Bailey, won't you please come home? Yeah,
I could go on singing till the cows horn and the rooster starts to crow. When I see your eyes, I go out. I must vocalize till you shout. Enough already. I could go on singing till the moon turns pale. Anything from Faust to ink. Love does funny things when it hits you this way. I must keep on singing like a lark, going strong with my heart on the wings of a bird.
Once again, Ella Fitzgerald. So let's hear it.
That got so that it was almost like being a regular on the program. I think it was like almost everybody felt they trusted him, they believed in him, and I guess we loved him, and it was like, thank you for what you've done for me.
Now, I've never asked really a favor, but you know, Ella Fitzgerald, I know her. She's like family, you know, but I have never sung with her.
You never have sung with Ella Fitzgerald?
No, could you fix it so I could sing a song with her?
Right away.
Could you do that?
Right away, I'll take it right
You're truly a great and glorious man.
Well, what can you say about working with Sammy Davis? He was just sensational because he was talent, what you call Talent.
Can I tell you what, you sing and I'll let me watch you. And if
I
the
want
water's
you to
nice,
sing
I'll
with
jump
me.
in.
All right. It's wonderful. It's marvelous. You should care for me. It's awful nice. Paradise. It's what I love to see. You've made my life so glamorous. You can't blame me for feeling amorous. Ah, it's wonderful. It's marvelous. Come on, Sammy. Come on and swing with me.
Spadillera, super-duper-duper-duper, satillera-dun-dun-dun, sa-da-da-da-tweet-ut-tweet-ut-tweet-ut-diva-dun-da-da-da-da-da. You've made my life so glamorous.
Ah, you can't blame me for feeling amorous with you.
It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
It is marvelous.
Yeah, yeah.
That you should care for. That you should care for. That you should care for me.
I thought I was supposed to, or you were supposed to. Well, it's wonderful. It's marvelous.
is one of the great... A lot of youngsters here, when these youngsters grow up, and the people at home can say that they saw the two of you together, heard the two of you together, and they're going to tag it off by saying, "You're wonderful."
Oh, listen to it sing.
That's it. Oh, I listen, I learn. Let's have a wonderful answer.
Here's a classic Sullivan moment.
Do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Good. You can read for a while. We will have many, many things to do. Sure, don't worry for that. No. I remember you very, very well. Sure. Hello, my friend. No. Not yet? No. No. Are you tired? No. Okay?
It's all right.
All right.
Coming up, Lucy and Desi and the Beatles' American debut.
Rough, tight, dry skin? That stops with Curel. When you apply Curel regularly, you'll feel its fast-absorbing rehydration formula take over. First, it seals in the healing moisturizers. Then the soothing Curel therapy rehydrates your dry skin. First it seals, then it heals. There's a clear line between other moisturizing formulas and Curel's rehydration formula. Curel for dry skin. First it seals, then it heals.
Question: how can you help stop America's growing dependence on foreign oil? Carpool. It can save 7.5 million gallons of gasoline a day. Let's put our energy into saving it.
What should you do when she's coughing and miserable? Listen to your pediatrician. She'll probably recommend Triaminic. Triaminic, the pediatrician's #1 recommended brand. Listen to your pediatrician.
Remember the love. Having Cody was a beautiful experience, but the extra weight I gained made me feel a lot less than beautiful. Then I tried the Ultra Slim Fast plan. It's nutritious, easy, and best of all, it works. I lost those last 10 hard-to-lose pounds in only a month, with a delicious shake for breakfast, another for lunch, and then a sensible dinner. You know, thanks to Ultra Slim Fast, that extra weight is just where it should be.
Off.
Ultra Slim Fast. Give us a week, we'll take off the weight. Frank and I've got our friends in Aspen, our friends in La Jolla, our friends in Santa Fe, and our lovely friends in Maine.
And I got an uncle in Tuckahoe.
Why are Regis and Kathy Lee making a list and giving it to MCI? Find out March 18th.
Who's on my list? Not you.
Why is Elle Macpherson making a list and giving it to MCI? Find out March 18th.
She had a twisted hold on her son,
You're a good boy, aren't you? You are pathetic.
and his need to please her would push him over the edge.
41 women have been raped.
Based on the bizarre events that terrorized the city.
We're a good team, aren't we?
Elizabeth Montgomery,
I know what he is.
Sins of the Mother, Tuesday.
Wednesday on CBS.
Whoa!
Will it be Mariah, Beth, Lisa, Sinead, or Whitney? Find out who the best pop female vocalist of the year is when Gary Shandling hosts the Grammy Awards. Don't miss it Wednesday, because once it happens, it's music history.
Mary Tyler Moore, the 20th anniversary show, Monday.
Ed was a tough Irish kid who grew up in and around New York City. For a while, he took up boxing, but it soon became apparent that his first love was journalism. He worked at a succession of newspapers throughout the Roaring '20s.
Rochester Daily Item. Okay, Mr. Sullivan.
Ed rose at midday, spent the afternoon writing his column, and in the evening attended a sporting event or a Broadway show, then wined and dined into the early morning hours, establishing a lifestyle he would maintain for the rest of his years. In 1930, Ed married Sylvia Weinstein, who remained his lifelong love and gave him a daughter, Elizabeth. Ed made his professional home at the Daily News. There, he introduced his column, a key attraction of the paper for 3 decades. Ed also hosted charity events, his own radio program, and the annual Harvest Moon Ball.
The New York News presents its 2nd annual Harvest Moon Ball. Strike up the band, Dick Himbert.
Ed always claimed that he was unaware that the 1947 Harvest Moon Ball was televised that evening. Whether he was or not, it proved to be fortuitous. CBS was looking for someone to host a new variety show, and Ed was their man. The Toast of the Town debuted on June 20th, 1948. Ed quickly became a personality in his own right.
Well, before we do anything else, I want to compliment Ed. You know, I think that he's the greatest master of ceremonies on television.
Well, I think so, too, but you tell me why.
Well, when most men introduce guest stars on their show, they try to get too familiar with them.
But not Ed.
Oh, no. When he introduces them, he sounds like he never heard of them before.
That's because Ed has got humility.
Really? Yeah. Well, you'd never know it. To look at him, it looks fine.
Even the biggest names in entertainment clamored to be on the show.
Ed Sullivan is going to do the whole show about us.
Oh.
How about that?
Oh, boy. All about us?
Yeah.
Oy.
Are you nervous?
Nervous? Why should I be nervous? Are you nervous? No.
After 7 successful years, Ed was rewarded when his program was retitled The Ed Sullivan Show. Here's the great Jackie Gleason performing his classic Poor Soul routine.
Thank you. Sorry very much. I have to get...
Dad.
Yeah, I planes just a cup of donuts.
Ed believed that a successful show had to have 2 comedy spots, and comedians from around the world vied to fill them. But once you were here, center stage, in front of this curtain, you not only had to entertain the audience at home, but Ed himself, who watched each performance from his stool on stage right. A successful appearance could skyrocket you to stardom. Over the years, Ed featured the very best in comedic talent. For more than 1,000 Sundays, the Sullivan Theater rang with laughter.
I'd like to tell you what happened last week. I'm sitting in my hotel room alone after watching the show, thinking about this week. And I heard a sound. I heard a sound like... I said, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And a voice said,
It's me, honey. I'm the voice in the back of your mind.
so what's up, voice? The voice said,
You on Ed Sullivan next week, ain't you? So what are you gonna do?
I said, well, I haven't decided yet. So the voice says,
Why don't you do that Barry story? You know your Barry story?
I said, but that's my worst story. I don't know if I got the rapport with the audience great enough to risk doing my worst story. And the voice said,
Do it! Do it, honey! They like it if you do it. How you gonna tell if they don't like it if you don't do it? Just go on out there and put your foot down and pop your finger and put your hand on your hip and do it, honey.
I said, but do you think Ed'll like it? And the voice said,
Ed don't care. Ed don't care what you do. Ed got his, honey. Do it!
But Mom got broke, and the wintertime coming on, didn't have no money, and I married another old man. Older than the other one. Old. Older than his birthday. And ugly. He was so ugly, honest to goodness, he hurt my feelings. I told him the other night, I said, let's sit down and have a talk. Somebody's got to die, because I can't put up with this.
The first 4 months I was married, this is really true, I never took my wig off. My husband had no idea that the hair he loved to touch he could take with him to the office. But now I don't dress up because he doesn't notice. Like, I right this very minute have on the new Tiger Eyes look. My husband didn't notice. I went home yesterday, got the new Tiger Eyes. They're white, they're green, they're brown, right? 3 stripes. I'm up against the piano, my husband Edgar walks in, I'm going... He called the cops.
I wasn't at all risque in those days, but he was very worried about me because I was a woman. So I would have to come up to his apartment in Delmonico, not even to rehearsal. And he would sit behind his desk, and you would do your whole act for Ed Sullivan. Now, you know how a joke works when there's a man going...
I went on the beach last weekend, everyone said, boy, she looks great in that bathing suit, skinny as a rail, but catch her neck. I caused a commotion on the beach. I was coming out of the water and people saw me walking out with a tight suit and they said, look, it's someone from TV. And a crowd gathered. They thought I was Ed Sullivan. What is that? That's a bad imitation. No, I didn't give autographs. No, thank you. No, I don't really look like you on the beach. I know that. You're thinner. But...
I didn't have to do my material at the dress rehearsal. And if I do it at dress rehearsal, I'd lose that immediate laughter. And so I used to go out and, just ad-lib and do 9-10 minutes and clown around. But, and I wouldn't let him see my material. He'd send people up to see if they could find my scripts. Oh, yeah, he was a piece of work. I came home one night and my house was robbed. And I called the insurance company. And they said, what type of policy are you carrying with us? And I said, fire and theft. They said, you have the wrong policy. You should have had fire or theft. According to their claims, the only way you can get any money is if the house is robbed while it's burning down, and you got it. Now, I should like to discuss, I've always discussed the negligence and the casualties. I'd like to discuss for a few moments life insurance. What is it? How much insurance do you need? What is this whole business of life insurance? They're betting against your life. If you live, you lose. And they scare you. That's the only way to get you to buy insurance. They frighten you. Like statistics. They're always putting out statistics like 1 out of every 2 Hungarians living in Poughkeepsie will die within the next year. Now, this doesn't seem like anything, except if you happen to be 1 of 2 Hungarians in Poughkeepsie, and you immediately run out and you buy more insurance. He sort of adopted me, and we became very close. I became his comedy maven. Meaning, even if I wasn't on a show, I'd be called in to consult on another comedian's material. Ed was as funny off stage as he was on.
A Sullivan moment.
Now, in our audience tonight is one of the fine singing stars of Broadway, now starving. You're not, actually. Star of Sherry, Dolores Gray. Oh, wait till Sylvia gets me on the phone after this show.
Coming up, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and classic hits from Motown.
Keep that shower fresh feeling all day with Ban. When you feel shower fresh, you feel good about yourself. Get that shower fresh feeling and feel good about yourself all day. Keep that shower fresh feeling all day.
Of all these cold medicines, only one combines the pain reliever in Advil with the medicine in Sudafed, Coadvil. Last year, 7 million people discovered it.
It was a sinus as well as a head cold.
Lead weights in my face all through here. It felt like a clogged drain.
Coadvil just cleared everything up.
It was like the lead weights had just gone away.
I was not drowsy with Coadvil at all.
Try Coadvil, and the next cold won't seem so bad.
Coadvil, advanced formula for cold and sinus relief.
The 1991 NCAA mini basketball from Pizza Hut is one of those things people just love to get their hands on. And at only $2.99 with any Pizza Hut pizza you buy. Luckily, that's very easy to do. So grab this year's NCAA mini basketball for just $2.99 while supplies last. Because you're never too old or too young to have a ball.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
So what are we hearing now? Wait on airbags for minivans. Nobody puts an airbag in a minivan. It's too tough to engineer them. Well, we did it anyway. No waiting, they're here. Sure, people still have to wear seatbelts with a minivan airbag. So what? Everybody should wear a seatbelt. No, some things you wait for, some things you don't. Minivans with airbags, you don't wait.
The very best of the Ed Sullivan Show will continue.
On the famous Wood Newton hunting trip.
At all times, make sure you fellow hunters know exactly where you are.
We'll know where you are. We'll just listen for the little forest creatures giggling.
Evening shade, and it's family photo day.
There's the Major, naked!
I was 3 months old.
You know, looking at your cute little bottom gives me an idea.
Later, Phone.
Major Dad after Evening Shade, Monday. Mary and friends reunite.
Hi, guys.
Be there again and share the good times. It's the Mary Tyler Moore 20th Anniversary Show, Monday.
This is CBS.
I'm not home right now. Please leave a message.
The phone's always ringing,
Just calling to see if you changed your mind about coming to work here.
but her answer's always the same. Because to her, Cleveland's more than just another city. It's the place she's chosen as home. Maybe that's why so many Clevelanders choose News Center 8's Robin Swoboda. She's not just another newscaster. She's become one of their own. Cleveland's news, Cleveland's pride, Cleveland's own. News Center 8.
On the next Cleveland Tonight, you've never seen Robin Givens like this before. This star of primetime TV has made her move to the big screen. We'll find out more about her role in Rage of Harlem. I'm Jan Joe.
And I'm Michael Stanley. We'll introduce you to the foremost guitarist in New Age music, Michael Hedges.
Then tune into the newest craze in communication, the shortwave radio. I'm Lori Vick, and it's all on the next Cleveland Tonight.
Tomorrow night at 7:30 on TV8.
Friendly fire kills 2 more American soldiers at 11.
Ed's quirks and idiosyncrasies are legendary. Everything about him, his posture, his mannerisms, and his delivery were a great source of amusement. And everyone who ever met him has a story to tell.
There was a tension in the air. Everybody felt nervous because he was very severe and he was very constrained about every word. He was tense and nervous all the time, and everybody felt it. And when it came from him, everybody felt scared because if he's nervous, what right do I have to look comfortable? So everybody looked at him and went like that because he went like that. And before you know it, you had 300 people standing around like that.
Woody Allen was on the show, and he did well, and Ed said, come on over here, come on over here. And from nowhere, some devil inside Ed's head said to him, he said, Woody, how's your father feeling? And Woody said, because he's so clever, he said, well, he can sit up now and he recognizes me. You just didn't know where it was coming from.
Sergio Franchi just arrives in this country, the Italian singer, great Italian singer. And it was the close of the show, the end of the show. They were going to do with the choir, they were going to do Ave Maria. And he comes out there. And he says, and now, ladies and gentlemen, to close our Easter pageant, the great singing star, Sirio Finky, and he won't stop. Sirio Finky Funky Sirio. This goes on for a full 30 seconds. Place is hysterical. Nothing bothered Eddie. Looked in the camera and said, let's hear it for Ave Maria.
The success of The Sullivan Show was due to the fact that Ed made sure there was something for everyone in the mix. Each week he would feature a top musical group singing one of their biggest hits.
Now here for all of the youngsters of the country and Canada are the Rolling Stones.
A key part of the Sullivan mix was comedy.
Anybody here from Texas? Yeah. You can always tell a Texan. Not much, but you can tell. There's the place to visit if you've never been. Texas, boy, you name it, they got it. You name it, they ain't got it. You didn't need it nohow. Down there, they got miles and miles of nothing but miles and... Everything's big down there. I saw a flea with 4 dogs on it. We're driving. See, my wife and I, for 3 days, we're driving, and we see nothing. There ain't nothing. And finally, my wife says, where on earth are we? I says, I don't know. She says, what's that? I says, the horizon. She says, head for that. It's better than nothing. Finally, we come to one little tree. And my dog rubs his eyes. He thinks it's a mirage. Driving, you see nothing. I saw some of the nuttiest signs I ever read in my life. I saw one big sign on a filling station, nothing there, just the filling station. It says, don't ask for information. If we knew anything, we wouldn't be here. And on his in-house, he had another sign. Anybody found around here at night will be found around here in the morning. And we're driving. Now we come to nothing but a great big real estate sign. A real estate sign out in the middle of nowhere. You ready? If you lived here, you'd be home now.
Each week brought us a great novelty act. Stars from the world of opera graced the Sullivan stage. There was always something for children of all ages.
Flying for my life. There's no effect yet. There he goes. That's right. Oh, swing it, baby. Forward now. That's right. Here we go. Okay. Coming home.
Certain great headliners were Sullivan regulars.
The king, I've been up and down. Well, we didn't even discuss all that. But every time I found myself down on my face, folks, I got help me, Edwin. I got back in the razor like that. I can't deny it. I thought of quit, but my heart was tried. Folks, if I didn't think life was worth a try. Boy, you've been working hard up there, haven't you? Well, I'm moving around, honey. I would roll myself. You can see me rolling, can't you? Up in a big ball. You know I wouldn't make no little ball. And I'd
Ed never claimed to be a performer himself. He couldn't sing, he couldn't dance, he couldn't tell a joke, but he had a nose for news and was always on the lookout for a scoop. And he got one in 1959. Tensions in the Cold War were running high. America and Russia spent millions trying to outdo one another's weaponry and influence around the globe. When Cuba exploded in revolution, Ed took off for Havana.
At 2 a.m., I met Fidel Castro en route to Havana at Matanzas, Cuba. What I'd like to ask you is this, Fidel. In Latin American countries over and over again, dictators have come along. They've raped the country, they've stolen the money, millions and millions of dollars, tortured and killed people. How do you propose to end that here in Cuba?
Very easy. Not permitting that any dictatorship come again to rule our country. You can be surely that Batista is or will be the last dictator of Cuba.
far beyond the star, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet beyond the shore, we'll kiss just as before. Will be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing.
The question is, would you want your son to be president?
Definitely not. I think he should finish school first. Yes, you in the flowered hat.
Yes, I would.
Not you, sir. The lady in the back of you.
Yes, we recently heard that you sent an agent into Cuba. Did he return with any information?
Well, I didn't send him for information. I sent him for cigars.
What is that called? The crash helmet?
Oh, I hope not.
I suppose you must have some opinions on the space program.
All right, I will.
I mean, what do you think of our program?
Well, I think you're lucky you're not opposite of Western.
One of the most memorable moments in television history occurred on February 9th, 1964. 73 million people tuned in to see the American TV debut of a new musical group. 3 months earlier at London's Heathrow Airport, Ed was astounded to see the terminal besieged by thousands of adoring fans who were waiting for the return of their favorite pop group from a European tour. Sensing another scoop, Ed immediately signed the group without even hearing a note of their music. Another Sullivan moment.
You gotta try it. It's for your own benefit.
Well, I did.
No, you gotta open a show and say, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, with vitality, and enjoy yourself. Make it a happy feeling.
But I thought I'd done it.
No, look at you. Look how you're standing now. Look at folding lobe. It's over. Listen to this. You walk out. Try this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime, son of a gun. Try that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime, you son of a gun.
We'll be right back with unique novelty acts and the best of Broadway.
Solid things. Pride. Dedication. Anderson windows and patio doors are built to stand the test of time.
Through the desert sun, through the years of rain, from the shores of California to the coast of Maine. Anderson, build your dreams of solid things. We'll build tomorrow in. Come home to quality. Come home to Anderson.
To clean your hard-to-reach back teeth, either get a flip-top head or get Reach. With an angled neck to clean hard-to-reach back teeth. Reach, the clean teeth toothbrush. Now in 4 knockout neon colors.
Now, in one easy step, Fact Plus gives you an unmistakable sign like this, or like this, so you'll know if you need a sign like this. Fact Plus, easy to read, so you'll know for sure.
Whoever said life begins at 40 obviously hasn't turned 50 yet. We want to extend these good years, so we've made some changes. The right foods, a little exercise, and because our nutritional needs have changed, we've changed our multivitamin tablet. We take Geritol Extend with all the vitamins we need. It's made for folks over 50. Geritol Extend, because you're as young as you feel.
Of all the world's car lines sold in this country, J.D. Power & Associates ranks only one American among the 10 most trouble-free. Buick. Before you put a new car in your garage, make sure it has one of these on the hood. Quick. Which luxury car gets better highway gas mileage? Lexus LS 400 or this Buick Park Avenue? Most people guess Lexus. Most people are wrong.
Good evening. From the CBS News Archives, I'm Walter Cronkite with a classic news break. 20 years ago this month, South Vietnamese troops, backed by massive American airstrikes, move into Laos. Meanwhile, Congress has told U.S. ground combat in Vietnam will end in midsummer. 1971's fashion rage is hot pants. While some designers say they're not for everyone, stores sell out quickly.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Are you nervous at all?
A little.
You can do it. Ready? Okay, now let's go. Start with the pedals. Keep the wheel steady. That's it. Oh, pedal, pedal, pedal. Good. That's it. That's it. I'm going to let go in a second, so keep the wheel straight. Come on, pedal, 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 pedal. Go, yes. Go, Kelsey. Woo. You got it, honey? Yeah. That's great, Kelsey. Okay, turn around now. Come on back, Kelsey. Kelsey, where you going? Kelsey, wait a second.
And that's the way it was 20 years ago this month.
I'm Paula Zahn.
I'm Harry Smith in Saudi Arabia. Tomorrow on CBS This Morning, the latest news from the war in the Gulf.
Join us for all the news on CBS This Morning.
A heroic boy saves a girl from drowning, but it could cost him his own life.
He appeared clinically dead.
He saved my life.
On Rescue 911, Tuesday.
Live from Wichita, join host Dick Clark and Barbara Eaton as 51 of America's most beautiful ladies compete to become our new Miss USA Friday.
Ed once signed a strong woman from England to appear on the show. She tore telephone books in half. Unfortunately, the show ran long and she was left waiting in the wings. Ed persuaded her to remain in New York and perform on next week's show. That Sunday, the woman arrived with her telephone books, waited for her spot, but the show ran long again. When Ed tried to persuade her to stay for the following Sunday, she threw down her telephone books and tried to tear Ed in half. It took 6 security guards to pull her off him. Fortunately, Ed didn't have that problem with other novelty acts.
Here's an amazing act. Here's a tremendous act. Here's a startling act. The amazing, the thrilling, the greatest, spectacular, incredible, exciting, wonderful, world famed, most unusual novelty act. So here is Eric Brent. This is Japan's Komaruzuko Takushi. Representing Germany, the Three Murkies. Great act from Paris. Dynamite Jefferson. Youthful Barrington Sisters from France.
In addition to the contortionists and plate spinners, Ed loved Broadway theater and introduced American audiences to the works of Cole Porter, Lerner and Loewe, Julie Stein, and Rodgers and Hammerstein, among others. The following musical numbers are the only visual evidence we have of the shows as performed by their original cast.
This is my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strong with his last ounce of courage, to reach the unreachable star.
I was in West Side Story. and a terribly unknown teenager. We were all unknown. It was a success, and Ed loved the show, and of course wanted me to sing something from, like I Feel Pretty or Tonight. And he said, do the balcony scene. It was the first time the American public saw young lovers in today's world in a ghetto recreating what Shakespeare did years and years ago.
Tonight, the world is full of light, with suns and moons all over the place. Tonight, tonight, the world is wild and bright, going mad, shooting stars into space. Today, the world was just an address, a place for me to live in, no better than alright. But here you are, and what was just the worst is a
It was as if the American public as a whole had gotten a taste of it. And then everybody coming to New York had to see our show. We ran to standing room only as a result of Mr. Sullivan's exposure.
You know, you all recall the recent evening when Rex Harrison and Julie Andrews came to New York in a tremendous musical called My Fair Lady. Here is Julie Andrews.
I could have danced all night and still have stayed for more. I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things I've never done before. I'll never know what made it so exciting. Why all at once my heart took flight. I only know when he began to dance with me, I could have danced.
During the 6 years of our show, I've come up...
To his credit, as the jokes about him multiplied, Ed laughed right along with his audience.
In 1949, I was named the Great Stone Face of 1949. I defended the championship and retained it in 1950. I lost out in 1951 when Fred Allen showed up, and he looked even more lugubrious. And I bounced right back and won it again in 1951, 52, 53. But so this has sort of been built around this rigor mortis face of mine. I want you to meet the young impressionist who came on from the coast. I brought him on from the coast. He's out there with Eddie Fisher. Will Jordan. Next week we're going to have for you. In person on this stage for you next week. We're going to have on this stage in person for you next week. On the stage in person for you next week.
The more the gestures began to grow, I began to just feel in this character, the stiffness, the movements, the shaking my shoulders. And the more I did, the funnier it got.
742 Polish dentists.
He said big show. And for some reason, really big was funnier. I think because I could roll that R. Really big. I changed show to shoe.
That's going to be one of those really big shoes. They're going to be here to perform their remarkable extractions. And they're going to drill for you right here on this stage.
later on in the 50s, he said that people actually felt disappointed if he didn't do, quote, do Ed Sullivan, which meant my impression.
Who booked him? That's just awful.
Impressionists like John Biner picked up where Will Jordan left off.
Bob Precht, I want to see you after the show. Now, wow, just unbelievable. You know, each week we try to be an act from Europe. Tonight makes no exception. Tonight we have the Barzoni brothers. Because we don't have too much time, we have to cut the act in half, so we cut the time and we cut the act in half. So here's one Barzoni brother.
It's not the same without my brother. I don't understand it. I do it anyway. I do it. It's not the same without my brother. Without my brother, it's not the same. My brother. I come 3,000 miles, I catch nothing. I don't understand it.
Well, Howard, did you see that fine simulated catch he did? Just fantastic. Well, that's it. Good night and drive careful. Wait, what? We have 5 minutes left? Is there anything left back there? How about Mooney and his little creature? Is he back there? Some old mats, anything? Check the... I heard a stagehand humming back there before. Send him out here? Nothing, eh? Ray Block, play something. Good night.
Another Sullivan moment.
Still to come, more Beatles and Stones and classic Motown.
What would it take to get you to change from Advil or Tylenol? How about something new from Bayer? New Bayer Plus with Stomach Guard. It's got it all. Bayer Plus has Bayer aspirin for powerful pain relief. To bang back headaches, muscle aches, and minor arthritis pain. And New Bayer Plus has more. Stomach Guard to help prevent stomach upset. So bang pain back with New Bayer Plus. The wonder drug worth changing to. It's tough on pain, gentle on your stomach.
Someone should talk to you about how much time you spend on the phone, and who you talk to, and when and where. A Sprint representative can easily help you select a savings plan for your personal calling needs, and Sprint has better overall savings than AT&T. So there's a plan that's perfect for you, unless, of course, you're a teenager. I can't believe it. No one's invented the perfect plan for that.
Okay, say you're a countertop, and you've got yourself a set-in blueberry stain there from breakfast. Which would you rather be cleaned with? This harsh powder that can scratch you, or soft scrub cleanser with Clorox bleach, which lifts out tough stains without harsh scratching? So, what's it going to be? Scratchy powder or soft scrub with Clorox bleach? Oh, wise choice. Soft scrub with bleach. Preferred by countertops everywhere.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
The only protection for us?
New Arid XX Sports Scent.
It's the only leading sports solid that doesn't leave a white flaky mess.
New Arid XX Sports Scent helps keep us extra
dry.
Now's the time for Centrum Silver, because you're over 50 and you're out there swinging. Centrum Silver, a complete vitamin formula for your changing nutritional needs. Centrum Silver, it's a great time to be silver.
The very best of the Ed Sullivan Show will continue.
Does Iraq's last-minute mission to Moscow offer any hope of averting a bloody ground war? Dan Rather reports from Saudi Arabia tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
Two couples, alone on a tropical island. If one couple is murdered, is the other guilty?
Oh, God! There was nobody else on the island.
Richard Crenna, Rachel Ward, Hart Bachner, Deirdre Hall, James Brolin, and The Sea Will Tell, next Sunday.
This is CBS.
What's so funny? Superstar Burt Reynolds. Next Donahue, drop in on the folks from Evening Shade, Arkansas. Join Burt and his co-stars Ossie Davis, Hal Holbrook, Mary Lou Henner, and Elizabeth Ashley for a peek behind the scenes of this hilarious new sitcom. Meet the star-studded cast of Evening Shade. Next Donahue.
Donahue tomorrow afternoon at 5 on TV8.
He's seen over 2,000 inches of snowfall in northeast Ohio. He's shoveled his driveway about 1,700 times. He's worn out 87 pairs of boots and a lot of woolen gloves. But to him, predicting Cleveland's weather isn't just statistics. It's too personal for that. Maybe that's why so many Clevelanders trust News Center 8's Dick Goddard. He's not just another weatherman. He's one of their own. Cleveland's news, Cleveland's pride, Cleveland's own. News Center 8.
Those Ohio State Buckeyes, awesome, baby! Tonight at 11.
Getting a seat for the Ed Sullivan Show was next to impossible, but if you did get in, this first row in the balcony was set aside for the Screamers. The new directions that comedy and music took in the 60s gave the fans plenty to scream about.
The Beatles, here they are. Combo of the Young Rascals, so let's bring them on.
They see hair down to there, say beware, and go off on a tear. I say no fair. A head that's bare is really nowhere. So be like a bear. Be fair with your hair. Show it you care. Wear it to there. Or to there. Or to there if you dare. My wife bought some hair at a fair to use as a spare. Did I care? Au contraire. Spare hair is fair. In fact, hair can be rare. Fred Astaire has no hair, nor does a chair, nor a chocolate eclair. And where is the hair on a pear? Nowhere, mon frere. Now that I've shared this affair of the hair, I think I'll repair to my lair and use Nair. Do you care?
I love colorful crochet and the way the sunlight plays upon her head. I am son of a gentle moon on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. I'm picking up her vibration. She gives me the excitation. I'm picking up her vibration. She's giving me the excitation. I'm picking up her vibration. She's giving me the excitation. I'm picking up her vibration. She's giving me the excitation.
We were in our 1959 Buick convertible, and we were driving up. The breeze was just sailing through our hair, and all of a sudden we heard, and now a new group from Dunhill Records, the Mamas and the Papas. Then we were dee 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 dee, and Cass, who was sitting in front with John, leapt for the radio, for the volume, and turned it up, and we were screaming and squealing, and it was just such an incredible moment.
said, open up. I said, open up in the heart. Please, won't you let me try? Yeah. Got to be good. Don't you understand? Raise your hand. Hey, hey, hey. I said, raise your hand.
Now, we'd like to introduce a black poet who's been called an angry poet by the masses, but he's our brother who's going to tell it like it is. Brother T.J. Majoro. Right on, bro. Thank you. My first poem, if I may. Now, for my second poem. This was changed by the establishment as most black artists' work are changed. Hi diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle and the cow jumped all over the moon. Now, a lot of you out there probably doubt this coming from a black man, but if a white man was to stand up here and tell you, you might believe it. And that's what we got to do, brothers and sisters. We got to get together and organize ourselves against Whitey, because if we don't, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Now, a lot of you out there, you're saying to yourselves right now, well, if you feel that way about white people, how come you're married to a white woman? They ain't got nothing to do with it.
Papa's a nervous way. He ain't too hip now, but that's the breed. He ain't no drag. Papa's got a brand new bag. Oh, I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't have. I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't have. So good, so good. I got you. Well, and now I know that I can do no wrong. When I hold you in my arms, love can't do me no harm. I feel nice, sugar and fine. I feel nice, sugar and fine. So nice, oh nice, I got you.
I know you're trying, but just relax. Just keep this very loose. Maybe I can help you this way, Ed. What is your favorite popular song?
Blues in the Night.
Oh, I love that one. Johnny Mercer's.
Yeah.
My mama.
Just relax. My mama done told me. My mama done told me.
Mama control me, Fred. Never sing nasal.
My mama. Bring it up here, my mama.
Why? I'll sing my mama. What's wrong, Ed? You have very little diction. That is the trouble. You'll be fine. You see, if you sing nasal, you have a cold.
Coming up, censored Sullivan moments. And Jackie Mason explains the famous finger incident.
Working nights as a 911 operator is like having a direct line into people's worst nightmares. Sometimes I get stress headaches. The pain's like a rope gripping right here. I head straight for Anacin 3.
Anacin 3, maximum strength pain reliever, without aspirin.
I take a couple Anacin 3. It doesn't upset my stomach. And pretty soon I forget I ever had the pain.
Aspirin-free Anacin 3, or original Anacin. Strong pain relief for today's stress headaches.
Which car has the best long-lasting protection against rust when scratched? Chevy Lumina, Ford Taurus, Honda Accord, or Mercedes-Benz? In these corrosion chambers, 30 days equals 2 years. Chevy Lumina's two-sided galvanized steel is unsurpassed in corrosion protection. With Ford, Honda, and Mercedes, sooner or later, you get this. By only scratching the surface, you can see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America.
That's today's Chevrolet.
All right, how many this time? 8 cavities. 14 cavities? I didn't think I had that many teeth. They're gonna have to drill. My parents will be very upset.
Parents today hope their kids won't have to go through what they went through. Luckily, today's kids use the toothpaste more dentists recommend, Crest. The first toothpaste clinically shown to give you protection down to the root of the tooth.
Another great checkup. Yes. Woo, woo, woo. Later, dude.
Crest, the dentist's choice, is the easy choice.
It's been fun.
You know, you get so much more out of cold mornings when you've got energy. That's why I eat grape nuts. And I found a great new way to make it. Hot. Just pour your grape nut cereal, add milk, and microwave it for 1 minute. You've got this warm, hearty taste that feels so good. And a natural energy source to help keep you going. So, even if it's a cold morning, hot grape nuts helps make it a good one. Try it yourself.
Hot or cold, breakfast with Post Grape Nuts helps keep you going strong all morning long.
Good evening from the CBS News Archives. I'm Walter Cronkite with a classic news break. 20 years ago this month, a powerful earthquake strikes Los Angeles. Buildings fall and bridges collapse. But this quake is still not the big one for which Californians have been waiting. In East Berlin, communist guards discover a tunnel under the Berlin Wall, just hours before 17 East Germans hope to escape to the west.
Take good care of my baby. Be just as kind as you can be. And would you please remember to treat her soft and tender, because my baby belongs to me.
Johnson's brings out the baby soft shine born in your hair.
And that's the way it was 20 years ago this month.
After 30 years in the newspaper business, Ed was used to last-minute deadlines, but TV shows aren't newspapers. And while this made for a nerve-wracking spontaneity, the slightest interruption could affect the crucial timings and the rhythm of the performers. This was never more obvious than on October 18, 1964, when President Lyndon Johnson cut in live from the White House. It was during comedian Jackie Mason's routine, and it all led to one of the most publicized events in the show's history.
The government announced a change in its leadership.
And now the comedy of Jackie Mason.
I start doing my number. I'm telling my jokes. And as I'm telling my jokes, all of a sudden, Ed Sullivan was standing right next to me, and he starts giving me 2 fingers to tell me I got 2 minutes left. And I noticed that my next 3 jokes bombed because everybody was too busy watching his fingers to notice if I'm being funny.
Huh? Anybody? I told 30 jokes already. Pick out one.
The 2 fingers became much more interesting to people than my jokes. And the jokes were dying because of the fingers. So I figured out I better say something fast about why it's dying, because the people at home don't see his fingers. Only the people in the studio audience saw the fingers. They're watching the fingers. The people at home only know one thing. This Jew is dying.
This is the truth. Why do you think he lived in a log cabin? He keeps showing me fingers, this guy.
I started to make fun of his fingers so that I could remind the audience that it's not my fault. I figured the best way is to make fun of the situation, so I started to kid him about the fingers.
Who should I talk to? Everybody show me fingers. Let me show you my fingers. Listen here.
I was started to all of a sudden get the audience back, and everybody was laughing uproariously about the ad-lib I was doing about him with the fingers. And I finished feeling great because I was able to get a couple of minutes of huge laughs out of this whole imitation of him.
Ed, I want to thank you very much, whatever you did to my career. The best of luck to you. Now I want to show you a finger, and a finger to you, and a finger to him.
Ed was clearly furious.
What do you think happens? I go back to my dressing room feeling comfortable. Thank God I'm a sensation. And all of a sudden, they see Ed Sullivan wants to talk to me. I come back downstairs to talk to Ed Sullivan, and I see a man livid with vicious, violent rage. I said to myself, what the hell did I do? And he started to rave and scream about what I did to him with my fingers. What a filthy, disgusting thing. He thought I made a middle finger gesture, which is considered vulgar and filthy. I never heard of it at that time. I didn't know what it meant. As a popular personality, I was totally destroyed. Basically, it kept me out of the big time for a minimum of 18 to 20 years.
The animosity between Ed and Jackie lasted for 2 years.
Now, highlighting the show next Sunday night will be the appearance of an old friend of mine and yours, comedy star Jackie Mason. So I want to call him out here.
I bumped into him in Las Vegas, and he says to me, I feel terrible about everything that happened between us. I could see the man was really hurt by the whole episode and felt sorry about how it happened.
You know, since we met out in Las Vegas at the airport, it's nice to have you back here on our stage.
Well, thank you, Ed. I'll tell you very truthfully, I was really... Look how popular I am. They're all talking about me. To me, it's a thrilling surprise to be back on your show, and I'm very thrilled and grateful for the opportunity again.
Well, the whole...
I didn't feel any hate or animosity for him. Until now, my career was going nowhere, and I never in my life blamed him for it.
The Sullivan Show also ran into trouble with censorship problems. Elvis Presley's gyrating on other shows had outraged large sections of the American public. Ever mindful of his audience and their tastes, Sullivan stipulated that for his third appearance, Elvis would be filmed from the waist up only.
You have made my life complete, and I'll love you so. Well, then love me tender, love me true. All my dreams fulfill. For my very darling, I love you, and I always will.
Ladies and gentlemen, much as he goes to the coast now for his new picture, this will be the last time that we'll run into each other for a while. But now wait a moment. I wanted to say to Elvis Presley and the country that this is a real, decent, fine boy. And wherever you go, Elvis, the guys who accompany you over there, we want to say that we've never had a pleasanter experience on our show with a big name than we've had with you. You're thoroughly all right. So now, let's have a tremendous hand for a very nice...
At the dress rehearsal for a 1961 show, Bob Dylan sang Talking John Birch Society Blues. After the performance, the censors requested that Dylan sing a less controversial song. He refused. Ed backed him up. The censors, however, were equally adamant, and Dylan never appeared on that or any other Sullivan show. In 1967, the censors raised their blue pencils once again and requested that the Rolling Stones change the chorus of their hit single, Let's Spend the Night Together, to a much tamer, Let's Spend Some Time Together. One can tell from Mick Jagger's facial expressions that he and the band resented the change.
Some representative from network television came into our dressing room half hour before showtime, and we looked at him and he said, "Boys," and we hated being called boys, "we've got a problem." And we all looked at each other and said, "Oh man, now what?" You cannot, on network television, say the word higher.
Now the Doors, here they are with their newest hit record.
And I jumped up and said, okay, fine. We'll think of something. Don't worry, there's no problem. He left the room. We all looked at each other and said, what are we going to do? Jim said, I'm not going to change the lyric. And I said, let's not change the lyric, man.
Time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. China, we can only lose. And our love become a funeral fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Know that it will be untrue. Know that I would be a liar if I were to say to you, yeah, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on 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 fire.
Whoever it was from Network came backstage afterwards and started to scream at us. But you promised you wouldn't say higher. And then I went into my routine. Well, look, sir, you know, we were just so excited. It's the Ed Sullivan Show. We're just kids. We're so nervous. We didn't know what we were doing. We've done it this way 1,000 times. And we're sorry we said the word higher. And he said, well, you promised you'll never work the Ed Sullivan Show ever again. Then he lays this bomb on us. We were going to book you for 6 more performances, and you'll never work the Ed Sullivan Show again. And we looked at each other and went, whoops, we could have done 6 more Ed Sullivan shows. And then Morrison, in classic Jim Morrison fashion, looked at the guy and said, hey, man, we just did the Ed Sullivan Show.
We'll be right back with the magic of Motown, from the Supremes to the Jackson 5.
Oh, Father Hennigan, you're drinking. What's the matter, lad?
Well, Monsignor, it looks like I couldn't raise the money to save the orphanage after all. Guess I'm a failure.
I'm not going to Hollywood after all.
Bless you, Janice.
There's a buck, Butter. It's an honest buck.
Like Larry Milligan from Wall Street.
Stocks and bonds. I've invested in their future.
All you needed was a little faith, lad.
And friends, Monsignor. It's great to have friends.
In the movies, happy endings are easy, but in the real world, they take solid planning. So for peace of mind, investment advice, even buying or selling your home, come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
This Carrie is so very, very...
different. I never used a Carrie like this.
This Carrie is called Silky Smooth, and Silky Smooth absorbs so fast.
My skin feels incredibly smooth.
Carrie Silky Smooth is so very, very...
Which do you think will put potassium into your body faster? The banana or the California prune? Go.
Sweet, delicious California prunes. Find out how good they really are.
L-A-C-E, Mom.
Relax. Come on, we'll practice. Blizzard.
B-L-I-Z-Z-A-R-D.
Because nature gives us driving challenges at all the wrong moments, Mercedes-Benz gives us ASR, automatic slip control. It doesn't overcome nature, but it makes it easier to live with.
You nervous?
H-E-L-P, Mom.
No.
The very best of the Ed Sullivan Show will continue.
What are you doing Monday night?
It's a special Monday of Murphy and Mary. First, can Murphy save FYI from corporate clowns?
Fish a cut bait. Go the whole 9 yards.
Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around.
Next, it's the Mary Tyler Moore 20th Anniversary Show.
Relax, Mary. This will only take an hour.
It's a Murphy Mary Monday.
Wednesday on CBS, MC Hammer, Wilson Phillips, and hundreds more of your fave music stars will be jammed into Radio City Music Hall for the Grammys. Where will you be?
She's a woman on the fast track.
I simply cannot become emotionally involved.
I was just thinking about getting my adrenaline up.
Oh.
Knots Landing, Thursday. This is CBS.
Until now, these were some of the world's best catches. Not anymore. Now McDonald's has the best catch of all with our Filet-O-Fish sandwich for only 99 cents. That's right. Now at McDonald's, you can get a delicious Filet-O-Fish sandwich for only 99 cents with the purchase of any size Coca-Cola and fries. Don't miss it. It's the best catch ever. Sorry, Greg. The 99-cent Filet-O-Fish sandwich only at McDonald's.
They're the spitting images of Liz Taylor, Madonna, and Barry Manilow, but they say this is not fun having a famous face. Next, Sally.
Tomorrow morning at 9 on TV8. See actress Robin Givens in a new role tomorrow at 7:30 on TV8. This is a News Center 8 News Break.
Good evening. What could be a last chance for peace gets underway in Moscow on Monday between Iraqi officials and top Soviet leaders, including President Gorbachev. This as Allied forces marshal their troops, tanks, planes, and ships for a possible ground battle that some say is imminent.
And another peek at springtime air is around the corner. By Tuesday, we should see the mid-50s here in Cleveland.
That's Newsbreak. Join us for all the news tonight at 11 on News Center 8.
Here to tell us about their sensational new discovery, please welcome Frank Bartles and Ed James. Ed, it's good to see you again.
I'm Frank.
Of course you are. Tell us about this great new product.
Well, it's our new Bartles and James light wine coolers. As you can see, Ed has reduced the calories by 1/3, which he believes gives you even more fresh fruit taste.
That's incredible. Fewer calories, more taste. Bartles and James Light. Give it a try, folks.
Watch this cookie. Wow! It's an Elfkin. Snoop Keebler Elfkins. Micro Keebler shrimp.
Mr. Micro, I gotta shake your hand. Elmer! These are awesome.
New Elfkins from Keebler. Bite-sized sandwich cookies.
It's not easy to pull yourself away from a bowl of Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Those 2 scoops of raisins taste so good, you'll find that once you start, you can't leave them behind. It's those 2 scoops that taste too good to pull yourself away. 2 scoops of raisins, golden flakes of bran. Get every bite you can of those 2 scoops that taste too good to pull yourself away. 2 scoops that taste too good in Kellogg's Raisin Bran. 2 scoops.
Ask me what counts most after 40 years in the car business, and I don't have to think twice. 1, the minivans. We invented them. 2, driver's airbags in every car we build in this country. What do we do for an encore? Put them together. Minivans with a driver's side airbag. Nobody else is doing it. You still have to use your seatbelt with a minivan airbag, but it will save lives. A lot of lives.
2 dirty socks, oh my, oh me. Let's wash this one with Flora Sleep. This dirty sock, let's take it home and wash it too in detergent alone. Now look at those socks, see what we mean. There's only one way to get a Flora Sleep.
From his earliest days in vaudeville through television's infancy, Ed always championed black performers in spite of hassles from local sponsors. To Ed, talent was the only thing that counted. And when Motown began turning out hits in the 60s, their artists could be seen regularly on The Sullivan Show.
childhood. Not like it's hurt me before. Oh, once I have someone I know won't desert me. See me lonely no more. For once I can say, this is mine. You can't take it. Long as I die, I am thinking I can make it. For once in my life, I am someone who needs me. Oh, baby, for once in my life. Hey, somebody let me know. Hey, for once in my life. Please don't stop, don't let that go, don't feel it coming back. Hey, woo, for once in my life. Somebody that needs me. Oh, baby, for once in my life. But I had you to myself, and I want you around. Those pretty faces always make you stand out in the crowd. But someone picked you from the bunch when glam was all it took. Now is it much too late for me to take up saying no? Oh, baby, give me one more chance. Won't you please let me back in your heart? Oh, darling, I was trying to let you go, baby. But now since I see you in his arms, I do now. I just what happened. Let me live again. Darling, I was trying to let you go, but now since I see you in his arms, spare me of this call. I can't make what I lost. I need one more chance. I tell you that I love you, baby, baby, baby. I want you back.
In a moment, Ed Sullivan's favorite moment.
From Touchstone Pictures, you've seen her ruthless, outrageous, and all business. But you've never seen her like this.
You look like my Aunt Minna in that dress.
Married to Woody Allen.
We've done our duty, you know, to civilization. We've procreated, and now we can die.
Bette Midler.
Not in 16 years have we ever made love unless the television was on.
Woody Allen.
I'm a guy who can do more than one thing at a time.
No, you're not.
Scenes from a Mall, rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Flu update. The Centers for Disease Control report. 3 highly contagious flu strains, and they're spreading unchecked. Millions will be stricken. What will you do? Doctors recommend Theraflu. Theraflu is hot liquid medicine. Strong therapy for flu symptoms. Hot liquid therapy that works fast. What will you do when you get the flu? Doctors recommend Theraflu. Strong therapy for flu symptoms.
Of all the world's car lines sold in this country, J.D. Power & Associates ranks only one American among the 10 most trouble-free. Buick. Before you put a new car in your garage, make sure it has one of these on the hood. Quick, which luxury car gets better highway gas mileage? Lexus LS 400 or this Buick Park Avenue? Most people guess Lexus. Most people are wrong.
How can Mama Day think everything is fine? She's holding his hand instead of mine.
Wanna go with us?
Okay. Maybe when she's older she'll be ready to date, but this is my mom and my time and you'll just have to wait.
Oh, look, there's Deborah.
On second thought, how bad could he be? He's down enough to go to Mickey D's. You know the one McDonald's
Coming up next on News Center 8, the Gulf War clock is ticking down in a last-minute flurry of diplomacy in Moscow to get Saddam Hussein to leave Kuwait peacefully.
And with each tick of the clock, Allied military muscle flexes for the big battle should peace fail.
In sports, the Buckeyes bounce Bobby Knight. And weather-wise, Mark says we're in for a preview of the spring thaw.
News Center 8 is next.
Just watching the highlights could keep us here for a month of Sundays. We hope we've included many of your favorites. After all, it truly was a really big shoe.
What could we say about him? What's it all about? Eddie?
Ed was very possessive, you know. He was a great friend and a terrible enemy. Very vindictive. But if he liked you, nobody could be kinder to you.
He was a monument to the power of television at its infancy.
I would say that he was a man with great ambition and drive and an intense perfectionist about his show.
Just the way he was, his body language and everything, you think of him as being a very conservative guy. But look at the people that he brought onto his show. He was the one who had control of that, nobody else.
Ed Sullivan was like Barnum and Bailey. He presented the greatest show on television to the American public.
I run an ad every year in the Variety in the obit column, and I've been doing it ever since he died. I hope I'm not sounding insincere, but I really mean it. The ad says, it's just not the same without you.
We were all in it together. We were like a whole band doing one show and making it work and coming down to the same. Look at this. Show business just isn't that anymore.
Ed was never more touched than when, after nearly 20 years of uninterrupted success, CBS renamed its famed Stage 50 as the Ed Sullivan Theater. Ed was the first television personality to be so honored, a tribute he was proud of until the day he died.
You would not go far. That night you opened, and there you are. Next day on your dressing room, they hung a star.
Before I go to sleep, kiss me goodnight.
Well, you didn't think we'd forget Topo Gigio, did you? Good night.
Continental is pleased to have provided travel for this special telecast, whether taking off for a family vacation or a romantic getaway. Continental is the airline to more than 100 grand destinations.
Tomorrow on CBS This Morning, join Paula Zahn and Harry Smith, the only morning news anchor in the Gulf. For all the news, join us on CBS This Morning.
Stay tuned for your local news.
So I used to change 2 hours before the show because that would give me an extra 2 hours to drive myself absolutely crazy.